with sports today. We're going to be sliding over to my favorite sports father, top 3 sports father in the game, Bill Haney. We sliding over to see what he said about the Devin Haney fight coming up with Brian Norman Jr. And you know what it is. It's the Classic Code Sports. Let's get into it.
There you go. Talk to him. Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
All right, so we are here on YSM Sports Media. Shout out to YSM. They have great content. I go to them for a lot of like dope short interviews that give you, you know, some good boxing minds, takes on different fights that are coming up and things like that. But they had an opportunity to interview Bill Haney for a few minutes here, and he's talking about Devin Haney's fight coming up against Brian Norman Jr. And let's see what Bill has to say. Like I said, he's my favorite sports dad right now. Number 1, top 2, not 2. Let's go.
All right, you guys, Tailman Sports and Entertainment, live from Stockton, California. Got a special guest, Bill. What's going on?
That don't mean that we not in the town. We in Stockton because we got family in Stockton, and we coming to have us some Chinese food at a secret location. And he'll let you know after we leave.
All right. Bill a fool, man. Pure comedy, man. Pure comedy. One of the best talkers in boxing in today's time, for sure. Let's go.
So, Bill, so what's the latest going on with Devin versus Brian Norman Jr.?
It's on, man. It's on like popcorn. You know what I mean? November the 22nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I mean, listen, you see my social media, the checklist, I mean, is complete. You know what I mean? Everything is on the line in terms for us. It's 3 divisions. 2 tremendously talented, undefeated fighters will step in the ring, and somebody's old has to go.
Yeah. So don't ever forget, Devin Haney is still undefeated on paper. Shout out to Cortez in the chat 333, my brother, chat 333 filing in. I knew y'all was coming.
Classic.
Yes, sir. But yeah, just in case y'all forgot, Devin Haney is still undefeated on paper. Yes, he did suffer a defeat to Steroid Garcia, but that was washed away from his record due to the fact that the man was positive for performance-enhancing drugs. And so he is still undefeated on paper. Brian Norman Jr. is also an undefeated fighter against absolutely nobody. He is unproven, but he is a talented guy. And if nothing else, he is a strong puncher. And so that's his real chance in the fight. He says he's going to show us all that he's more than just a puncher, and they'll get to see skills from him. I doubt it. And so he has a puncher's chance. If he doesn't catch Devin with anything and knock him out like he said he's going to do, if he can't achieve that, he'll lose on points for sure. I'm sure Bill is going to get to that here. I haven't watched this in its entirety. But yeah, man, that's Bill in a nutshell saying, yeah, the fight is on, man. Ain't nobody ducking it. Devin is notoriously on the no duck list. I have a no duck list. There's only a few fighters on it. Most people are actually proven on paper, publicly found to be ducks. Devin Haney is not one of them. He hasn't ducked any smoke with anybody. And so when Bill say it's on, I'm not surprised. Let's go.
All right, Bill. Devin is moving up once again to another weight class to conquer another weight class. Are you going for undisputed at 147? It looked like basically, if you get through Brian Norman Jr., it looked like 147 is there for the taking. Is that the game plan to become undisputed at 147?
Well, I mean, Brian Norman is the, is the strongest, hardest puncher at 147. So they say. Right now you can't look at anything past him. That's a great opportunity for Devin to show who Devin Haney is. And then on November the 22nd, that's what he'll do. But we can't look past that. We're not looking at no other accolades other than, a future 3-division champion, because that's what's on the line right now, inshallah.
Bill, what advantages you see that could help you prosper in this fight, prevail against a hard puncher such as Brian Norman Jr.? What weaknesses that you see that you and Devin are looking at that you can exploit?
Well, before Bill answers that, we already know their heads are on straight. We understand that, right? You hear the amount of respect that they just gave to Brian Norman Jr.'s punching power and his physicality in the sport of boxing. And so we understand that they're going to approach this thing with a sharp mind and not trying to go in there and have an ego fight. So you can already see it's trending upwards. Cortez said, this is real big fight. He needs to knock out Haney to win. Yeah, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. But I think he'll have moments, though. Don't get it twisted. As you watch, you know, these two grown men who've trained, you know, for upwards of 2 months to fight each other, as you watch them engage in, you know, combat, understand that, you know, Brian will have his moments. You know, we're not going to watch 36 minutes of Devin just doing a song and dance and not being touched whatsoever by the guy. He'll have his moments. I don't think Devin is planning on getting into a fight with this man and not getting hit at all, not once. I don't think he's planning for that, right? I mean, they're going to fight. So, yeah, man, he does have to catch Devin. He's not going to be, with Devin's footwork and his jab and his ability to dictate the terms inside of the ring. Brian will be trying to find him for a while. And then when he goes to step on the gas, Devin has a few different tools he can go to neutralize him trying to increase his output. And then on top of that, Devin doesn't get tired at all. So if Brian Norman Jr. fades in any way, he might start getting punched on a little bit down the stretch. But we'll see. We'll do another video and break that down further. Let's go. Let's see what Bill's talking about.
I mean, don't get hit. You know, that's the whole thing. You know, and that's what makes the thing even exceptional. And in 12 rounds, you know, Brian Norman, you know, he can get you out of there with one punch. I mean, throughout the whole 12 rounds, he has dynamite in both hands. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what separates, you know, true boxing from slugging, brawling, or anything else, any other descriptive. When you can get in there and you can neutralize your opponent and not get hit with one of those big shots that we know Mr. Norman is bringing with him on that night. But, you know, it'll be our job for him to leave it in the trunk.
Shout out to YSM Sports. Shout out to Bill Haney. He said it'll be our job to, you know, make sure he leaves it in the trunk. Yeah. All the weapons of mass destruction Brian Norman got over there, you got to be able to land, buddy. You got to be able to land something significant. And you got to hope when you do that Devin don't just take a good shot. A lot of people talk like Devin Haney got knocked out against Ryan Garcia. He did not. That fight went 12 rounds, and it was relatively close on the cards. I think a lot of people forgot that reality because they were too busy basking in their opportunity to say they were right about being a hater. But aside from that, I mean, that fight was close. Even with the knockdowns, the fight was close. And, yeah, I think a lot of people forget that. But that fight wasn't a knockout. Devin Haney's never been knocked out, which proves that he's very durable. He can take a punch. And now he's fighting at 147 pounds. He has to dehydrate himself a lot less. Cortez said here, conditioning. He has to dehydrate himself a lot less to make weight. He can keep a lot more fluid on his brain. And that's going to ultimately increase his punch resistance. So as the thought said, I think Norman has a shot until round 6. Yeah, it'll have to. I'll put it like this. He may not have to win it inside of 6, but he may have to cause damage that creates a change in the game plan of Devin Haney inside of 6. Absolutely. He needs to catch him with something significant, maybe drop Devin. Devin gets up and has to fight from behind on a knockdown. And Norman's, you know, now his confidence is up. He's got a second win. His adrenaline's going. You know, at that point, I think you got a pretty even fight down the stretch if something like that happens. But honestly, I see Brian Norman winning probably like 3 rounds. I think he'll start turning. I think in the first round, Devin going to come out, neutralize. Brian going to do a little something, but not much. I think in the second round, Devin will do more of the same. Brian will try to find spots. Devin will see what Brian wants to do offensively. In the third round, they'll start fighting. In the 4th or 5th, I think that's when Brian going to try to step on the gas. I think that's when Brian Norman Jr. going to try to step on the gas. And I think that's when he going to find out that he in over his head a little bit skill-wise. We haven't seen Brian Norman Jr. have to set up any of this power that he has against a mastermind in there. Devin he's a high IQ fighter. I think people don't know about Devin Haney's journey. What up, Uncle Plug? Shout out 333. What's going on with it? Yes, Lord. Chat 333 in the building.
Classic.
But yeah, I think people don't know Devin's journey. He didn't only just train with the Mayweathers. His dad took him all over the country to all of the best gyms to spar the best people in the nation. Oh yeah. Throw me up on the big screen, plug. You know what we doing. You got about an hour and a half of this work coming. Yes, sir.
Classic.
Yes, sir. What you say, boy? My dog from Florida, boy. Tampa Bay looking all right, dog. I see him. But yeah, so yeah, I think that people don't know a lot about Devin's story, but man, he spent time with the Mayweathers. He spent time, he spent time with he still trains with Nate Jones, who is one of Floyd's trainers, is always in Floyd's corner. He picked him up, added him to his camp. He's worked with people from overseas. They work with all different types of people. Shane Mosley was in his last camp. Like, Devin takes a lot from a lot of different greats and adds it into his game. He's very weaponized. People like, oh, well, he's devoid of one-punch knockout power. Newsflash, most boxers are. That's why we make a big deal when somebody has it. When Deontay Wilder just was sleeping people, it was a big deal because most boxers don't have one-punch knockout power. There's fighters with power that you just don't want to take, for the full fight, right? Like, you get hit with something clean in like the second round and you like, okay, I don't need to get hit with 6 or 7 of these in any round. I need, 1 or 2, I'm bite down on my mouth guard. I came to fight, but 6 or 7 of these, I might have to take a knee. Oh, we got a super chat. Shout out to Uncle Plug. He didn't even say nothing. He you know what it
Classic.
is. Yes, sir. Shout out to Uncle Plug in the super chat. Gratitude, brother. Yes, sir. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think the fight looks better on paper than it may actually turn out to be. If anybody that's a casual boxing fan is expecting to see a slugfest, that's not going to be in Devin Haney's best interest. You're going to see Devin using movement, not running, just using movement and angles to set up his shots when he wants to be offensive. And when he wants to be defensive, you're going to see him either clinching, moving, or jabbing and feinting to keep Norman's hands at home when he wants to. Well, I don't even want to say take a break because Devin don't get tired. He said, you know what it is already. You already
Classic.
know. But yeah, you'll see a lot of that. You'll see a lot of IQ being displayed by Devin, and you'll see a lot of Brian Norman trying to cut off the ring. And with the movement of Devin, he won't be able to sit down and set up any of the super hard shots because Devin will be an elusive target for him. And that's where he's gonna have an issue. If he can't let off his power shots, being Brian Norman Jr., if he can't get those power shots off on a moving target, he gonna have a hard time landing something significant. I think it would be in his best interest to go into the fight actually trying to just win the fight. And if a knockout come, it come. I think Brian Norman Jr. should actually go try to win the fight. Like, you can't outbox Devin, but he should try. With his power in hand, he should still be trying to like move and box and deploy his jab, deploy his, body jab, and set up a real attack behind some boxing. I think he should actually attempt to win rounds. If he just going in there looking for one, by the time he look up, he going to be down, 7 rounds, 8 rounds, and he ain't going to have number 2, 3 left. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's the situation. Uncle Plug going crazy. He must know about his boxing. He said didn't like him in that Garcia fight at all. Yeah, I think it was just a wrong game plan. But Uncle Plug is crazy. Even with the wrong game plan, that fight was still close. Everybody forget that. I was just talking about that before you came into the chat, how that fight was close. On the cards, it was close. Even with the knockdowns, because Devin won damn near all the rounds where he didn't get dropped. So the score actually ended up being close. I thought the shit could have been a draw, to be honest with you. Looking for a better performance this time. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Regardless of how it go, Devin Haney is what we want out of boxers. And that's why I really have reverence for him and his father and how they move in the sport. He said, you think Devin has power for a knockout? Nah, I don't even think he planning on trying to knock him out. But fighting at 147 pounds for the first time and not having to dehydrate himself, some people do get a little extra pop on their shots, especially with the extra weight. He starts sitting on his shots a little more. He could, but I don't even think it's in his best interest to be on that. I think he should just hit and don't get hit. Uncle Plug said he did win most of the rounds. Yeah, most people forget that. And they talk like the fight ended in a knockout, but it didn't. It most definitely went to the cards. So like the Garcia performance wasn't his, it's probably the worst performance of his career you know, thus far. But all in all, it wasn't like, you know, completely trash. And I know that's not what you're saying, but it definitely, you know, he showed himself to be tough. He showed himself to be durable. He showed himself to have heart. You know, he showed himself to have a chin. You know, a lot of them shots Garcia hit him with, other people, they'd have been donezo, finito, done. And that speaks to Devin's conditioning, his work ethic, his training, and just his will. So, yeah, man, I think we in for a hell of a fight. But shout out to Bill Haney again and YSM Sports again. And that's our sports take for today on the Classic Code Sports, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me, man. 333 if y'all ready to get into this reaction video. Dump them threes in the chat.
Classic.
If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold.